Hi, my name is Jason Ellinger. I'm the CEO of Taika Translations. We're a multi-million dollar digital services and translation company. And I've gone through the six questions. Well, actually, this is the sixth question that we have to answer in our businesses to make them prosper over time. My wife and I started our company from absolutely zero, and we grew it to a multi-million dollar company within 10 years. And along the journey, I found some really helpful processes, consulting advice. And this was one of the most golden nuggets that I found. And it came from this book, The Advantage by Patrick Lencioni. He takes all the credit for it. He gets all the credit for it. They wrote it. But I will say that out of all the consultation books that I've read in my career, and I've read a lot of them, I've got a big bookshelf here full of different leaders and leader seminars type stuff. And Pat is the best by far. Patrick Lencioni is number one, and I would add Dave Ramsey in there as a close second. And in this, in building the advantage, we're talking about giving our company the most powerful advantage in the marketplace. Pat outlines 6 questions, and we've gone through 1 through 5, and the last question is who must do what? And we've got to answer this question very clearly and very carefully. We just got through the 5th question, which is what is most important right now? Because there's always multiple things that feel like they're the most important thing in our businesses. Something's on fire, something's broken, a client complains about some process, we have some kind of quality issue that comes up and we've got to face it. We've got vendor issues, supplier issues. All kinds of stuff happen on a daily basis. And if we're not careful and we don't determine what is the number one thing, we start to get splattered. And that splattering effect reduces our ability to sustain intentional decision-making, clarity, and alignment over time. And so what I found is answering these 6 questions in our business and for our team was one of the best ways to reduce that misalignment and that lack of clarity and that seeming that lock that comes onto your business when you're just trying to do fix all the different areas at the same time, and essentially you accomplish nothing. So who must do what is about, now we've got the tactical step of what is most important. And then we look at our profiles, and a great exercise is to sit your leadership team down in a room and say, all right, who's responsible for what? And have everybody write it down on a piece of paper and then and then hand that paper to the leader of the group. It doesn't have to be the CEO. It could be any member. And the leader of the exercise, maybe I should say. And then have that person go through it and to make sure all the disciplines that your team has to deal with on a daily basis or weekly basis are represented there effectively. And you might notice some gaps, or you might notice some duplicates, or a lot of times in the CEO's case, he might be holding a leadership role and developing the leadership team or building a cohesive leadership team, but he's also doing some kind of functional task or operational task here that he feels like nobody else can do, or she feels like nobody else can do. And that can be a problem. And so, and even further, when you're in a meeting and for example, the CEO is a leader in a section because maybe they don't have enough money to get enough, to get a head for that area. Or he started off being the expert, the resident expert in that area, and over time, he just developed a kind of a key voice in that section. Sometimes we can trip ourselves up because our team thinks that we're trying to make a declaration and say this is what we want in this area, when what we're really trying to do as leaders or CEOs of the team is we're trying to enhance communication, and we're trying to get buy-in, and we're trying to get ideas. But because we're really good at that area, we speak a lot about it, and that can be a problem because our team might not be aware that what we're trying to be in that case is a member of the team. We're not trying to directly dictate the outcome. And that's something we have to be very explicit about. So when we say who must do what, we have to be very clear on what role we're taking, even during the conversations that we're having around specialty areas in our company: accounting, finance, human resources, vendor management, production, all of these things. And we have to be very careful. So answering the sixth question about who must do what is, of course, tied to all of the others. And it's the last kind of more tactical question that really opens the door to making productivity happen and alignment along the way. Who's going to carry out the budget requirements? Who's going to fix the problems we're facing in production? Who's going to work on our marketing section when we're not having enough clients coming in the door on a monthly basis? Who's going to do this and that? And each one of you, your leaders, has a hat that they should wear. And they also should appropriately know when to take that hat off to focus on the other areas so that you can enhance clarity and alignment as you go through those discussions. So the final step is to take these 6 questions and put them on a 2, maybe 3-page document. And this document is something that you have all the time. I have it printed out. It's on my desk. I have it on my desktop. It's on my computer screen so that I can go and update that as necessary for our leadership team. So when, for the example of when the section, what's most important right now, when that needs to be updated, I can go in and update that, and then I can print off new copies and make sure that all my leadership team has that, and that it's at every single leadership team meeting, which happens every single week, and that we're always able to refer back to those values in the answers to those questions. If you go through the whole process and you do nothing, of course, you will not get the benefit of it. But it is a discipline that takes discipline, for lack of a better word, that takes consistent focus and discipline and effort to make it come to life in your company. But the results are that you give your company the most powerful advantage of any company in your industry in the marketplace, because it's so rare when a company has alignment, a cohesive leadership team. They make their decisions around values so that when they need to go slow, they go slow. When they need to speed up and go fast, they can go faster than ever, because they have alignment and clarity, and they've reduced the friction, and there's no internal arguing in silos. And this is a tool to help you do just that. So I hope this series has been helpful for somebody out there, some small business or even a big business owner who's struggling with these areas of kind of friction and a lack of alignment and kind of dismemberment here and there in your company. This fixes it, and it fixes it for good, as long as you're willing to put the work in up front and then maintain the discipline over time. And ultimately, that's one of the most profound ways we win in business, is just sticking at it and doing the right thing again and again and again, the best right thing we know how, over time. So hope this helps somebody out there. And again, this is the last of the 6 questions. You create the answers of the 6 questions, then you create your playbook to the answer with all the answers to the 6 questions, and you bring those to every single leadership team meeting. And every leader has that and refers back to it whenever a value decision needs to be made, so that there's alignment and clarity all along the way.